你好，宝仔汉语学校欢迎你。Hello and welcome back to Pagoda Chinese School, the platform that offers a structured approach to learning Mandarin to support you in your goal of becoming fluent in another language. In this lesson, which is the second of 8 introductory lessons, we will learn about the 3 fundamental components to a Mandarin syllable. We will also learn how to piece certain vowels and consonants together and learn how the individual sounds are spoken. So in the last lesson, where we explored the concepts of pinyin and tones, we learned that pinyin was the romanization of the Chinese character to build a bridge to the English language, and we learned that tones guide us on which direction to pronounce the syllable. Now, let's explore the same character, ni, and we're going to learn 2 new concepts. So, the letter N, or the start of the syllable, we call this the initial, and the letter I, or the second part of the syllable, we call this the final. So, the initial and the final form the syllable ni, and then we have the tone, which is third tone. We join this together, we've got ni, which is how the syllable officially sounds. Let's have a look at another example. So, let's take the letter H as the initial, and the letters AO for the final. Okay, in 4th tone, so that abrupt sound, together this would sound how. So as we can see, initials and finals are not necessarily one letter long. It is worth mentioning that they don't represent a letter-by-letter structure as they would in English, but merely a phonetic segmental portion of the language. The thing to remember is a Mandarin syllable consists of 3 parts: the initial, the final, and the tone. Once again, a Mandarin syllable consists of 3 parts: an initial, a final, and a tone. So firstly, let's study the initials. There's 21 of these in total, and they are laid out in Chinese textbooks according to their phonetic category. Let's learn them one by one, so follow me. B, b, bo. P, p, paw. M, m, more. F, f, for. D, d, duh. T, t, t. N, n, n. L, l, l. G, g, g. K, k, k. H, h, h. J, j, g. Ch, ch, chi. Sh, sh, shi. Z, z, z. C, c, c. S, s, s. J, j, j. Ch, ch, ch. Sh, sh, sh. R, r, r. Most of these 21 initials sound very similar to how they would sound in English. However, there are some fundamental differences. Let's explore the 7 main differences. Number 1, the letter Z. So this is actually pronounced Z. So imagine you're saying the 2 letters D and Z together with a subtle buzz behind the front teeth. Z. Number 2, the letter Z, H, J. So this sounds like the letter J in journey, however with the tip of the tongue curled further back. J. Number 3, Xi. So this sounds a little bit like the she in sheep, however a little bit softer and the tip of the tongue touches the lower front teeth. Xi. Number 4, Qi. So this sounds a little bit like the CH in church, but a little bit softer with the tongue close to the back of the teeth. Qi. Number 5, Ci. So this is an interesting one because although it's spelled the letter C, it's actually pronounced like Ci, so like the TS in cats. Ci. Number 6, Ch. So once again, this sounds like the Ch in church, but with the tip of the tongue curled further back. Ch. And number 7, R. So this may be the hardest one of all because it looks like a letter R, but it's actually pronounced je. So, like the J sound in French, je, or the sound you make from leisure or pleasure. One more time, je. The rest are much more similar to English. Feel free to stop and rewind to listen to these sounds again. Now, let's explore the second part to a pinyin syllable, the final. It could be said that the final is the most important part of the syllable, because without the final, it's impossible to construct the syllable itself. Okay, so there's 36 finals in total, including 6 vowels or single letter finals or main finals, and the rest are formed with either 2 letters or join with other finals to form compound finals. First, let's learn the main finals, the 6 vowels. So, number 1, let's say ah. So this sounds like the noise you might make when a doctor is examining inside your mouth. Open wide and say ah. The next one, or. So, push your lips forward into a small circle and put the tongue at the bottom of your mouth, leaving a hollow space above it. Your lips should form the shape they make when you say the English word law. One more time. Or. Okay, the next one. So, form the sound you would make when you find something really disgusting, like Sometimes, when the letter E is joined with other vowels, it can be pronounced like the E in bed, like eh. Let's say it together. The next one. E. Pull your lips back and put your tongue up towards your hard palate without touching it. It's similar to the EA sound in the English word squeak. E. The next one. O. Bring your lips forward, forming a narrow gap through which your breath can vibrate. Your lips should take the shape they make when they say the English word fool. One more time. O. And the final one. U. This is perhaps the Chinese vowel that's most alien to us native English speakers. The most interesting part about this vowel is the 2 dots above the letter U. It's similar to the umlaut in the German language. To pronounce this vowel, what we do is we attempt to say the sound E, but through tightly pursed lips. Make the shape you would make when you're saying the SH in the English word fish, the sh, but then try to say E, so you would end up with U. One more time, U. So those aforementioned vowels, the 6 main finals, maintain a pivotal position in the structuring of any syllable. For now, let's explore this chart to gain an insight into the other finals. Have a look at this chart. So the vowels are placed around the edge here, and along the top line we have other finals made up of more than 1 letter. So let's say these first. R, I, A, Ow, O, An, Ang, Ong. And within the chart we have the compound finals, the phonetic sounds formed with a combination of these individual final sounds. The good news is, once you have learned all the previous finals, the compound finals aren't too difficult to pronounce. Let's go through them one by one. Ya, yeah, yao, yo, yen, in, yang, ing, yong, wa, wo, wai, wei, wan, wen, wang, weng, yue, yuan, yun. So have a look at this, the ultimate pinyin chart, the combination of the initials and the finals. There's a lot to take in. So on the left going down, we have all of those 21 initials we studied before. On the top here, we have all of the 36 finals. Remember the 3 components to a pinyin syllable: initial plus final plus tone. Don't worry about tones for now. Now it's time to combine the initials with the finals. I'm not going to give you cognitive overload here, so we will just briefly touch upon this, and I will post a link to this exact chart, and on the link you can click on the individual sounds to hear exactly how they are all spoken. Within this chart is every sound you will ever hear in Mandarin. Of course, when tones come into play, the amount of things each one of these syllables can mean will drastically increase. But anyway, here are all the sounds for you guys to go and study. Just as an example, let's have a look here. Let's take the initial bo and the final yao. So combined, this would sound biao. Another example, let's take the initial j and the final I. Combined, this would sound jai. One more, let's take the initial g and the final Y. Combined, this would sound guai. Now you know a basic outline on how syllables are pieced together. Moving forward, there are some rules we need to remember, which will help us to avoid some common misunderstandings. Number 1. When the initials G, Chi, Xi and the letter Y precede the final U, the 2 dots are omitted in writing. Here are some examples. They are actually pronounced the same. Ju, Chu, Shu, Yu, Jue, Chue, Shue, Yue, etc. Only the 2 dots are missing. Number 2. When there is no initials before finals beginning with E or U, E should be changed into the letter Y and U should be changed into the letter W. Have a look at some of these. We have Ya, Yao, Yang, Wa, Wa, Wang, Wang. Number 3. When Wei, Wen, Yo, Yu stand alone, they are spelt as follows. And number 4. The letter I actually represents 3 different sounds depending on the initial that precedes it. When it follows Z, Z, S, it would make these sounds Z, Z, S. When it follows the retroflex initials, so J, Ch, Sh and R, it would make more of a J, Ch, Sh, R. But when it follows any other initial, it will make the English sound E, for example, D, T, P, B, etc. In order to improve your pronunciation in spoken Chinese, it's first very important to master the basic sounds of the initials, the finals, and practice piecing these together with different tones. If you have the opportunity to practice with a native speaker, this will really enhance your output, referring to your conversational competency. It's also very, very important to practice by yourself, slowly and clearly, with high levels of audio input, recording yourself, listening to yourself back, and comparing this to a native sound. Available in the downloads of this video, you will find a Chinese pronunciation common difficulties Word document, a link to the pinyin chart which we've studied, be sure to focus on the audio sounds, a link to a webpage, how to improve pronunciation, and a link to another website to practice the syllables. If you want to take your pronunciation to the next step, some useful websites are Yo-Yo Chinese, Fluent Forever, and Chinese Class 101. To round this lesson off, let's revisit our objectives for the lesson. To learn the 3 components to a syllable: initial, final, tone, we know these now. To be able to piece vowels and consonants together. We learn how to add finals to initials to make real syllable sounds. And the 3rd objective, to know how the syllables are spoken. So we've studied the pinyin chart and paved the way for future learning. Now it's up to you guys to explore this in greater depth. Thank you very much for taking part, guys. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to take advantage of the free content that will be uploaded weekly and stay on top of your Mandarin learning journey. Thank you very much for a successful lesson. See you soon.